Welcome to the family with
Alex Brant Bernard Rasmussen.
And Andy Brant Bernard.
Catherine will be in at some point. She's not here for the beginning of the show, but which is kind of unfortunate because I was saving this for the family show because the best cartoon characters of all time ranked. Do you have a favorite cartoon character of all time?
Cartoon character.
All time? There's just like so many.
There's
it's like
so many.
Yeah. It's like picking a favorite movie or song or whatever. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. I have a few.
Yeah.
A few. Okay, I'll tell you, here's what I'll do. I'll run through the list, the top 20, and when we get to yours, let me know.
Great.
Okay. Yeah, number one's a given, I think. We'll see.
Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse, I'm sure.
20 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, Andy, struck home with you right away.
Definitely got to be up there.
Because you loved that when you were a kid. And then I get the salute. Number 19 is Popeye the Sailor Man, which you don't even see Popeye anymore, do you?
Most recent Popeye media I'm aware of is the Robin Williams movie.
Yeah.
And that is
I was
not
gonna
new.
say, if you said to a Gen Z Popeye the Sailor, they'd be like,
no, they have no idea who the hell that is.
No, they would not know who that is.
What are you referring to?
Another one of my favorites of all time, number 18, Casper the Friendly Ghost.
I love Casper.
That's another very dead IP, though.
Yeah, I bet it is.
I love Casper.
Casper's great. Very friendly ghost. What could be better? Number 17, another great one, Garfield. I thought Garfield the cat was wonderful.
No.
No?
He's so annoying.
He's annoying. Okay.
He's so
he
annoying.
Hopes you made lots of spaghetti.
Think about if you had a person that acted like Garfield in your life. You would hate them.
You know what's really kind of bad about this for me is I like every one of these as I'm looking at them.
They're the top 20, so you should.
Yeah, you should. That's true. Number 16 is Tweety and Sylvester. Love Tweety.
Absolutely.
You were named Tweet when you were born after Tweety Bird.
Tweety or Tweety for a
Giant
while.
head.
Because you had a giant head with big eyes, just
Big
like
eyes.
Tweety.
So
Porky Pig. You like Porky Pig?
I never really cared that much for Porky Pig. He's kind of one note.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
He's like a C-list.
Yeah,
character,
he's
I
a
think.
supporting character.
Yeah,
I could
like-
see that.
Why
Pete
is
from
he on
Sartell
there?
says Homer should be on there. And we have a couple votes for Goku in the chat, which you guys don't know who Goku is.
Who's Goku?
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, so we had left off at Porky Pig. Then we have Daffy Duck, which is one of my favorites. My mother hated Daffy Duck.
Yeah, very hyper.
Very hyper and always got some
Don't like
smart-ass thing to say, so Toots did not like Daffy Duck.
Yeah. Not her kind of duck.
Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner.
Is this all going to be Merry Melodies characters?
I was
that
going
who it
to
is?
Jeez, every single one so far. I think.
Really?
Well, half of them.
Well, Wile E. Coyote was a good character, didn't you think?
He was another he never talked.
Yeah, but they were a team. Like without one, you didn't have the
Yeah.
other. I know 2 children named Wiley.
Oh, do you really?
that's-
I know 2 boys named Wiley, and I'm like, do you know what that means?
Well, Wiley just means like clever.
Yeah, like cunning.
Yeah,
Cunning, yeah, there you
that's-
go.
Like
yeah.
you named your kid cunning.
Okay, number 12, the Rugrats gang. Now we're in your generation, right?
Yep, back into millennial
Yeah.
stuff. That's for
I
sure.
freaking love the Rugrats.
Okay, Andy, you too?
I was never a huge fan of the Rugrats.
Or you never were?
They were babies. I hated them.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Andy's
well.
never been a baby fan except his own baby.
No,
How about-
and even then, it's
Yeah, it's
This is one that JB told me about. He said, Tom, you got to watch this show, South Park. The South
yeah.
Park Kids.
South
absolutely
Park.
Not?
I hate that show.
You hate South Park? Is it too
hate it.
negative?
It's pretty negative.
Hate it.
South Park has a lot of very high highs, but also a lot of very low lows.
Yeah,
it's one of those shows where it's like several years back, probably 10 years ago, I went and just watched all of them. And it's rare that I will skip an episode of something I'm watching. Like if I'm going back and watching The Simpsons or Star Trek or something like that, I never skip, even if an episode is not good.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to slog through it. But South Park has a lot of episodes where it's just, this is so bad I can't watch it.
Really?
I feel bad about wasting my time watching this.
It's
But it also has some of the, best moments in cartoon history of all time. So it's, yeah.
Is it because they got too political?
Yeah, that's a lot of it. There's a lot of episodes that are just basically like Trey and Matt telling you what to think.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
is very annoying.
All right, we go to the top 10. Number 10, Optimus Prime from Transformers. Never saw it.
Never cared about. I was a little too young for Transformers.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have anything to say.
So basically, I'm too old and you're too young
Well,
for Optimus Prime.
I was too young and also too old because the Transformers were
Yeah.
big in like the early '80s, but then they came back and then they were big in like what 2005 or something.
really?
When was the 3D movie with?
Shia LaBeouf
Yeah,
and Megan Fox.
yeah, that was like the mid 2000s, and by then
Yeah.
I was too old to care. But when I was a kid, I was
Yeah.
too young to care about the cartoon because it had gone off the air. I think by the time I was born.
I remember hearing about it, but I never seen it. I've never seen the show. Number 9. This only being number 9 pisses me off. Number 9, Snoopy and Charlie Brown.
Oh, there you go, Minnesota Pride.
Now,
I got Snoopy on my shirt right now.
as a matter of fact, just yesterday I sat down and was watching Charlie Brown, Peanuts, the whole thing, watching Charlie Brown with Ethan. He loves
Yep, the Peanuts movie.
the Peanuts movie.
It's a very cute movie.
It is. It's a great movie. So, yes, we highly rated in this household. Number 8, Scooby-Doo. Never cared for Scooby-Doo.
I
Oh,
didn't really either, but Ethan likes Scooby Doo.
Does he?
I like Scooby Doo.
You
And it's
like
not.
Scooby?
I don't like necessarily Scooby Doo the dog himself. Like,
Well,
there's
yeah.
not a lot going on, but the show I like because I always like solving mysteries.
But
and
you
it's
know what
spooky and
really ruined Scooby Doo, and a lot of people would agree.
the movie,
Well, there's a lot of movies.
the live action,
But
terrible.
before that, when did everyone decide that this show sucks now?
I don't know when.
I'll give you a hint. Ta 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 ta. Puppy power.
What are you talking about?
They introduced Scrappy Doo,
Oh, that's right.
The puppy.
Scooby-Doo
Yeah.
and Scrappy-Doo.
who talked all the time and was just basically comic relief the entire time. And everyone was like, "What is this?"
The whole deal.
I mean,
Oh, Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy. The concept of like a bunch of people, a bunch of cartoon characters solving a crime with a dog while a fake audience laughs in the background
Yeah.
wasn't ridiculous enough. They had to add Scrappy.
Yeah,
I
they
get-
needed
oh,
him.
here comes Nana, I think.
There she is. Missing
Catherine,
her.
we're going over the top cartoon character. What?
You all right?
Okay.
Delta so much.
Oh, well,
Okay.
What'd she say?
She hates Delta so much, ladies and gentlemen.
apparently she does.
I just seriously, customer service in America has gotten to be the most
All-time low.
ridiculous.
Yep.
think
I
it's
have
just
called
Mr.
for
Stuffy.
service on cars. Don't ever call a service department for cars during lunch hour because apparently
God,
everyone
no.
leaves the building and
Oh,
nobody.
God, no.
The
That's
time
true.
that people would have to take off of work to sit and do appointments, you can't do that anymore because there's nobody in customer service. Anyway, yeah, Delta, Alex. Yeah, they said FUCK, bye bye.
What?
Yeah, for the 5.5 hour delay.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, Alex, I
And
gave.
then lied about it on top of it.
Well, they're saying that they did not lie. I made it all up. I'm the liar.
Oh, you're the liar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let me run some cartoon characters by you. Might cheer you up. We've been through the top 13 of...
We're on 9, right?
we're on number... No, we're on number 7 after I scroll up. That was
Scooby
number
was
8.
eight?
Scooby was 8, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here are the ones we've been through, Catherine. So tell us if we like any of them. Okay,
Any of them.
you ready?
I am so ready.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Popeye the Sailor Man. Casper the Friendly Ghost.
All good.
Okay. Garfield.
Eh,
Tweety and Sylvester.
yes, of course. Love Tweety Bird.
Okay. Porky Pig.
I mean,
That's what I
wa-
said. It's
I
like-
watched it
We
as
were
a
like-
child, but back
He's
when
very meh.
when
Yeah.
I was a kid, there was not that much available, so I liked it.
You had to.
Kind of had to.
Had to like it.
Probably true. Probably to Daffy Duck.
I love Daffy Duck.
Okay. Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner.
Roadrunner is my favorite. Yes.
Okay. The Rugrats Gang.
No,
Yeah,
I
agree.
found them highly annoying.
Yeah,
but the
me
kid,
too.
But Alex loved them.
I loved the
You
Rugrats.
loved them. So
Melissa did too.
Rugrats. I think it's like a
yeah,
deep millennial. Well, although Melissa's 5 years.
Well,
younger
it's
than I
also,
am.
I mean, they're not stupid. They program to a specific audience.
Well, of course, yeah.
So I
yeah,
mean,
it's like it was a very specific age group
Yes,
that the
absolutely.
Rugrats catered to.
Number 10, we got. Oh, wait a minute. Number 11 is South Park Kids.
I don't know that.
You know South
yeah,
Park.
you know
know
South
South
Park.
Oh, you mean? Oh, I thought Kids was like a different spin-off or something.
Oh,
It's the
that-
Rugrats version of South Park.
Oh, actually,
Yeah,
speaking of which, a little aside, I saw the dumbest IP dredge I've ever seen in my life.
What's that?
So the idea of South Park kids being stupid. There's a new show out there aimed at toddlers, and it's about the Rocketeer.
The Rocketeer from like 1925.
Well, I mean, the movie takes place in the 20s, but it's the movie was from like the 80s, I think.
Yeah, it's
early
probably about
80s.
right.
Yeah, they brought back the Rocketeer and made it into a kids movie.
Well,
It's like of all things to make into a kids movie, why would you pick a movie?
I don't know. Yeah, because they figure it out.
Because they can, yeah.
Yeah, because they can do it.
Okay, Catherine, we go to the top 10. Optimus Prime from the Transformers.
I never saw it. Don't know.
Couldn't care
I
less.
prefer Rodimus Prime.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Number 9, Snoopy and Charlie Brown.
Best ever.
Best ever.
Obligatory.
Exactly. Number 8 is Scooby-Doo.
Well, looking back, it's stupid. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought it was good at one time. Yes.
Casey Kasem was the voice on that show. That's
He
too
was
bad.
Shaggy.
He was Shaggy. Yeah,
What?
yeah Casey
Yeah.
Kasem was. You
Yep.
didn't know that?
Yeah.
This is brand new information to me.
He did a lot of voices.
He did actually. Did a lot
That's
of voices.
amazing. And the Tony the Tiger guy.
He was the voice of NBC for a long time, I remember. When I was doing CBS and he was doing NBC. I remember that. Number 7, Ash Ketchum and Pikachu from Pokemon.
I knew they were going to be on there. I was
Of
like,
course,
Ash
yeah.
Ketchum and Pikachu are
hand.
going to be.
Andy's a big fan.
Yep. We all like Pokemon. Ash is still going, and he's still 12 years old somehow.
Nice.
happening.
20-something years later, has not aged.
Alex, you're
Rock and
not for
rollin'.
You're not liking it?
I've never been a Pokemon. I'm not. It's just
No.
not my.
No.
No, you have to have gotten into it when you were like 12 years old to care
Yeah.
about it.
Sure.
Not my vibe.
That makes sense. Tom and Jerry. Well, that's
I knew
got
they
some
were
age
going to be
to
on
it.
there. I was
Yeah.
like, Tom and Jerry have to be on there.
I loved it when I was a kid. I look back and it's like, man, those were violent cartoons.
Oh my gosh. We watched, we were at a hotel once and it was like you could watch like QVC or Tom and Jerry.
Oh.
And the kids were with us and we were like, okay, we'll watch Tom and Jerry. And I was like, this is way violent.
It's
like, this
really violent.
It
They
is,
would
yeah.
smash each other over the
for
head
children.
with sledgehammers and things. Yeah. Mhm.
Who hasn't done that
I know.
Very violent.
in
Yeah.
real life? All right, we've made it to the top 5. These are the top 5 cartoon characters of all time, according to the votes it got. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Fred Flintstone, number 5.
That was
Absolutely.
Officer Dave's vote.
Oh, yeah.
Officer Dave voted for
Yabba
Fred
dabba
Flintstone.
doo.
Gotta have them.
I watched that
There
every
you
day
go.
when I came home from school.
By coincidence, we were watching Griselda last night, which is a phenomenal show starring Sofia Vergara. It's it's a true story of the Medellin cartel and cocaine sales in the Miami area of the United States. It's really good, don't you think? But it made me think about that because they were everybody smoking a cigarette all the time on that show
And doing coke.
and doing cocaine, exactly.
That's you too.
But remember the Fred Flintstone Barney Rubble commercial trying to sell Winston cigarettes.
Oh,
Bonnie,
yeah.
Yep.
have you noticed that Winston's taste good like a cigarette should?
Jeez.
Like a cigarette should.
Yep.
That's the guy you got cartoon characters trying to sell kids cigarettes. That's real
Great.
life.
Great.
So the world has gotten better in some ways, don't you think?
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been corrected.
Oh.
As of last year, Ash Ketchum has retired.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and he's
What's-
2 new heroes taking his place.
They replaced
At
Ash?
25 years old.
Yeah, they're
Or
gonna.
25 years of the 10-year-old. So
Oh,
he
so 30
technically
now,
should be 35 years
Well,
old.
and
but,
everything has to be rebranded to today's tastes and political climate.
Yeah,
too.
that's true.
All right, what do we have
That
left?
is true. We have 4 left.
Okay.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Knew he was
Oh, yeah,
gonna be
of
on
course.
Hilarious.
Loved
He's
him.
got to be one of the highest grossing cartoon characters of all time.
So funny.
Actually, I wonder.
You're good. You're good.
You're good. We still do that. Yeah, there was a ghost pirate ship,
Yeah, that episode
Yeah.
was called Shanghai.
Shanghai. Yeah, and who was trying to park it? Was it Patrick?
Yes.
Patrick is trying to park this giant ship, and he's just scraping and ruining the whole ship, parking it. And SpongeBob keeps going, "You're good. You're good.
You're good. You're
You're
good."
good. You're good."
He did. That was very funny.
And who are you calling a pinhead? And Patrick's head went.
Who are you calling the
truly-
pinhead?
Sometimes those cartoons just pop into my head, and I just start laughing, and people think, "Is she a little psychotic, or what's going on with her?"
Yes.
No, I haven't seen these, but there are only 3 left, and we haven't seen a word yet about Bugs Bunny, have we?
No Bugs, no Simpsons,
No Simpsons?
no Dragon Ball, no anime at all.
No Mickey Mouse and
How
Donald.
Mickey Mouse,
How
it's-
can
Isn't
Simpsons not be on
Pokemon
there?
anime?
Oh yeah, it's just supposed technically Pokemon is anime, so that's the only anime on that list. But,
But you
I
got-
number one's going to be Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, and Homer Simpson. I guarantee it.
So those are the 3.
We'll see.
Okay, I'm scrolling. Number 3, the entire Simpsons family.
Yeah, there you go.
Very good.
You know,
Andy. Good call.
So when did The Simpsons start?
80,
1910?
yeah, for
Yes,
real.
1910.
It's like 89 or something
Time.
like that.
89. And I remember you.
89, yep.
Yeah, you wanted to watch it, and I remember thinking that this is just not appropriate for small children because Homer was constantly strangling Bart and
Drinking.
I was like, and drinking, and yeah, I was like, this isn't really
That's true.
for little children. So I
No.
kind of didn't like it for a long time just because I didn't want you watching it. But then after you got older, and understood that this is just a cartoon. And I started watching it. The political commentary on there was always hilarious. I thought it was brilliantly written, actually.
There are only 2 left, so I think some of my favorite characters, one of them is not going to make it
Okay.
because I loved Bugs Bunny. And I didn't see Bugs Bunny on the list anywhere so far, right?
He'll
But I
be on
also
there.
love Daffy Duck, and I don't see his name on
Daffy
here.
Duck was on there. We talked about it. He was like
Oh, yeah,
17
Daffy
or
Duck was
something.
on there.
Yeah.
You're right. Daffy Duck was on the list. Okay. So we go to number 2. Number 2 is Bugs Bunny. So, okay, so they all have made it on the list
Yeah.
so far.
In there.
So the number 1 has to be exactly who you
It'll
thought
be
it
Mickey
was.
Mouse. I guarantee
Yeah.
it.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Number 1 is Mickey Mouse. You're absolutely right. Actually, they did a pretty good job with that list, I think. I like pretty much all the ones that I know of.
And they're going to be kind of going away from Mickey Mouse, right? Because he's lost he's not licensed or anything. Or
No, the
copyrighted or
original,
something?
the original design
Yeah.
from Steamboat Willie
Yeah, like-
is no longer copyrighted.
Oh,
But that's it. Yeah.
But that's it.
I
Yeah.
know people are like, Mickey's, there's not going to be any Mickeys in any of the parks anymore. And it's turned into this like ridiculous thing. It's like, no,
that's-
it's something
No,
very
it's just
simple.
a very
It's
it's a
not.
specific design. Even the name Mickey Mouse is still copyrighted. His voice, all that. It's just
Right.
that one earliest design of it. It's like Winnie the Pooh. When Winnie the Pooh went public domain,
Yeah.
technically the only thing that went public domain was the book illustrations, I believe.
Oh, really?
Like the new red shirt, New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh design, that's still copyrighted.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I really don't like the weird.
The Ren and Stimpy one,
No,
Yes.
no, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're
it's very
so
gross
weird.
looking.
yeah, it's
Wait a
not
minute. What's
good.
this? Ren and Stimpy one of what?
There's the new Mickey cartoons. They're animated,
Oh.
and it looks a lot like Ren and
Well,
Stimpy.
they look evil.
And they're just like they're
injuring
very
each other.
grotesque.
Yeah.
And it's very weird.
Yeah,
And
I
they're
don't
just
like it at
hurting each
all.
other.
Yeah,
And I'm
it's
like,
really
how is this
bad.
Mickey Mouse?
No,
I don't.
it's not well done at all, in my
No,
opinion.
it's terrible.
Well, I mean, the original Steamboat Willie was basically just him torturing animals the entire time. So
Was it really?
he was playing animals like instruments, like hitting chickens with a mallet to make them make buck sounds, and he was like playing a cat like a washboard. Yeah, he wasn't.
It is
a,
amazing.
He wasn't
how-
a nice mouse in the beginning.
Mickey.
That'll
You
happen.
a-hole.
It'll happen. What are you gonna? So yeah, that's pretty good. We got through the best cartoon characters of all time and pretty much agreed with all 40 of them, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
40.
Or the what,
20.
20 or 20? Yeah, there were 20. Yeah.
100.
Oh,
Yeah, all 100 of
No
them.
Goku,
exactly.
though.
Do you think it's still too young? Well, it can't be too young. That's people in their
No.
late 30s. Isn't it?
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z was like 90-something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, Alex, I want to run this one by you and see what you think of this.
yes.
You know who Alyssa Milano is?
The world's dumbest human being.
Oh, that's kind of
Alyssa-
cool.
She's right up there.
You might be right.
Milano,
Alyssa Milano.
like the cookie.
She is asking you to help fund a trip for her son's baseball team. Her son's baseball team's going on a trip, and she did an appearance to promote, please help fund my son's baseball team. You know, they raise money on this kind of stuff, right?
I know, but
I
isn't
just
she?
I
she's
just
she's
did
a
a
millionaire
Booster Club
actress.
pancake breakfast yesterday.
You what's that?
I just worked at a Booster Club pancake
Oh, did you?
breakfast yesterday to raise funds for dance.
Okay, would you have done this? If you were asking people to help fund your son's or your daughter's events, would you have arrived in a $200,000 car?
Oh, my
I
God.
would not have done that.
Yeah, the optics aren't
I rolled
never
up
good
in my
with these.
beat up Subaru. So
Your
they're-
beat up Subaru did it.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to drive a $200,000 car to a charity benefit where you're asking people to give you money.
I was gonna say, why does she need people to give her money?
She doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
I
She
just-
doesn't-
She's trying to be relatable.
Yeah, that's the new thing. It's like
suppose,
yeah,
celebrities
probably.
pretending that they need your help.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
It was
Well,
like that whole The Rock and Oprah supposedly raising funds for the Maui victims, and nobody
Yes.
got any money whatsoever.
No?
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Oh, you did find that out to be true?
Yeah, The Rock actually apologized for the whole thing, and
Oprah
yeah.
never will because she might be one of the worst human beings ever born.
she's beloved, Tom.
Beloved, yeah, beloved.
The Rock seems like a legitimately good guy.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
I was kind of surprised when he teamed up with her. It didn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, first of all, I should say this. I can make that call on Oprah because I have never liked daytime talk television, no matter who was doing it.
Daytime television is just why do they make such bad programming
Well, because
They can.
for
It's-
people that are, if you're home all day, it's either you're probably older and you're home a lot, or you've got kids and you're a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home parent or something, and you've got a couple hours here and there to chill out. It's just so bad.
it's always been bad.
It's really
though.
bad.
And I mean, I understand the soap opera thing because that's just something you can just like mindlessly watch, and it's sort of this, sometimes you just have.
You don't need to
a little
catch
bit
up
of-
on all
yeah, but
2,500 episodes.
5 or 6 soap operas at the same time, were just a little was so much overkill because some of them got so popular. So I kind of understand that mindless need. And the game shows, my mother used to watch
Oh,
these
yeah.
game shows in the afternoon. If I was homesick, she'd turn on the game shows, and she was really into them.
Your mother was?
Oh yeah, she would
I
like
didn't
yell
know
at the
that.
TV and everything.
Oh, yeah? I remember when
There
we
you
were
go.
babysat by Sandy. She'd always be watching The Price is Right.
The Price is Right.
Price is
Yep.
Right, yep.
Oh, yep. I think that was
Price
one of
is
my
Right.
mom's. And but this like The View and
Oh,
Oprah
God.
and Dr. Phil was kind of. I liked Dr. Phil because he was kind of like a breath of fresh air at the
Yeah,
time.
you went through a Dr. Phil phase.
Yeah.
Well, he was,
And Dr. Oz.
Yeah, he made some sense. Dr. Oz, with the whole vitamin supplements constantly, like,
Yeah.
if your pinky finger hurts when you get up in the morning, if you take these 12 vitamins, it might change your life. And it was like, okay, got a
And
little,
it could.
yeah. But Dr. Phil, once he got all movie star,
Yeah, he
everything
got
was
it
all
himself,
about
yeah.
being in Hollywood. I didn't like him anymore.
D. Hart offered a missing part of the list.
Okay.
He-Man.
The cartoon?
He-Man.
He-Man wasn't in there.
No, it
the
was
real
not in there. You're right.
person dead.
Yeah, I don't remember
said-
you guys watching
The real
those.
He-Man.
Yep. He said He-Man's going to be
I-
#1, best show ever, but he wasn't even on there.
Wasn't even on the list.
No
What are
He-Man.
you going to do?
No Power of Grayskull for you.
Okay, I need your help on this headline. This is from the Wall Street Journal headline, What the Hell? Europe Chafes at America's Protectionist Tilt. After the Biden administration echoes Trump's restrictive trade views, European officials worry the U.S. isn't what it used to be. What do they mean by this?
Well, it isn't.
I don't know what any of those
It's
words
very
mean.
true.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have to read that whole article so we understand what you're talking
I'm
about.
not reading the whole article, but I'll read some of it. President Biden's 2021 declaration that America is back was welcomed by European officials eager to move past their trade troubles with the Trump administration. Yet instead of reversing policies driven by Donald Trump's protectionist views, Biden has advanced many of them. The president has kept trade barriers in place, left European companies out of subsidies designed to bolster U.S. manufacturing, and surprised allies with tighter restrictions on Chinese access to American technology.
Why would we subsidize European countries?
And
to
why would we
bolster
give our-
domestic? That doesn't make any sense.
Because
Why
you're
would
trying
we
to
just-
get something from them.
Yep.
But why would you give our technology to China?
Yeah,
You're
no, this
trying to
doesn't.
get something from them.
So basically, this is just globalists being globalists.
That's
Yeah.
You're
exactly
not allowed
what
to
this
look out
is.
for yourself. You have to give it all to us.
That's right.
Well, look at TikTok. That's a Chinese-owned company, is it not?
I believe so.
Is it not also the hottest place on the internet now
For Zoomers, it is, yeah.
for Zoomers? Is that who it is?
Gen Z, yep.
Gen Z. Many Europeans feel that Trump, seemingly en route to the Republican nomination, might abandon Ukraine and the North American Treaty Organization, as well as inject chaos into global trade. They have nonetheless come to believe that regardless of the winner of the expected Biden-Trump rematch, the U.S. economic policies have tilted from their favor. The honeymoon is over, one European diplomat said. Diplomats and officials across Europe are wondering whether the bloc can rely on the United States to continue backing the rules-based trading system, or if they face possibility of economic conflict between longtime allies. But I have a question for you. Isn't what they're talking about the fact that we just gave away the store for decades?
Yep. We
So
sure did.
why wouldn't we want to get away from that? We gave you everything for 40, 50, longer than that now, 70 years. After World War II, you've gotten everything you've ever asked for. Maybe it's time to take care of yourself. What do you think?
Well,
think
I
it's even
think
possible?
Yeah, that's the thing is they've become so reliant on U.S. handouts
Right.
that now they're panicking.
But we're the bad guys because we don't want to do the handouts anymore. We're the bad guys?
Well, that's the thing. It's like you're not the good guy for giving them 50 years worth of stuff. You're the bad guy for stopping after 50 years of free stuff.
Yeah, and it literally is more like 70 years since the early 50s.
Yeah.
Actually, probably the late 40s, even when you want to look all the way back. Look, I understand that countries need to protect each other and to help each other and all the rest of it, but we gave and gave and gave and gave and gave for all these years, and now we're the bad guys because you don't give as much anymore.
Yep.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I've never understood.
Yeah, the whole thing, why does everybody have to be so filthy with money? It's always, always about money now, isn't it? Do you find that to be true in your generation?
Well, actually, I'm reminded of a ancient stone tablet that I just read.
You just read an ancient stone
reminded.
tablet? Jesus.
A schoolboy wrote it 3,800 years ago.
Okay.
And it can be paraphrased like this. Dear Mom, my friend has a dad who doesn't make as much money as my dad, yet he has new clothes. You must not love me enough to make me new clothes every year.
Really?
And that's 3,800 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, people
Kids
haven't
are
changed.
guilting their moms about not buying them the freshest new outfits, and
Yeah,
yep.
as Ricky Gervais says, we're just apes with big
Yep.
brains.
Yeah,
That's all
he
we are.
literally said, "You don't love me enough
Yeah.
to make me new clothes." It's
Really?
like that could come from something written today.
Whatever first caveman climbed out of the cave and smacked somebody over the head so that he could take their food, we haven't changed.
No,
It's just a little bit different. Civilization is the only thing that helped. When we formed actual civilizations,
Yeah, the
where
nature
there were
of a human
rules
being.
and and manners and all that kind of stuff. I mean, look at how anybody acts. People go to prison. Look at how they act in prison.
yep.
Yeah.
You lose that fabric of society, and people just revert to being animals. Just how we are, sadly.
So it's just an animal thing,
I think
basic
so.
animal thing.
Lizard brain people.
I gotta believe you're probably right about that. I just say whatever works.
Well, right now I'm just mad at people in general. So
And why are you mad at people in general?
I told you, Delta really pissed me off.
Very bit. Well, yeah, you guys were on an airplane for what, 5.5 hours?
No, I
We went
gave
on and-
Alex's family like all my miles because Delta now flying in and out of Minneapolis has gotten to be so ridiculous. It's $700 for coach,
Yeah.
for like back in the back coach, $700 a piece, which is, I think it's now. I just read a statistic. Flying out of Minneapolis now is like almost 60% more than it was 3 years ago.
60% more?
Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
It's outrageous how much it costs to fly in and out of Minneapolis. So anyway, I gave them all my miles so that they could fly over the Christmas holiday because it's so expensive and so annoying to try to get a decent rate out of Minneapolis. And they were delayed 5 hours, 24 minutes, according to the person I talked to today. And they said at the airport, Alex, right, that it was weather related.
Yeah, we went. So it was like delayed 2 or 3 times before we even showed up to the airport.
Everybody
we
else
were-
was getting out that were flying out at the exact same time.
Yeah, and we were like, because we ran into people that we knew at the airport, and we were like, "Are you on the same flight as we are?" Because we know that they spend time in the same area, and they were like, "Yeah, we've been here since 8 a.m." And it was like, it was like 1:30
Yeah.
at this point.
So I kept calling customer service and wondering what was going on because it was nice weather in Minneapolis. Was your airplane there, by the way?
Yeah,
And
they
you were
said
still
the plane
delayed?
was there the whole time. Yeah,
Okay, so that was the lie. They said it was weather related. There was no weather in Minneapolis. There was no weather in Florida. There was no weather on the weather map of the
yeah, like
United
Miami
States of
flight-
America.
Miami flights were going.
Everybody was
Fort
getting
Lauderdale
in.
flights were going.
Everybody's getting out. So I sat on the phone with customer service, and somebody said that it was a piece of equipment that wasn't getting on the plane. Well, when it's Delta's fault, they're supposed to compensate you for delays especially over 5 hours. So I was like, okay, well then why are they telling everybody at the airport that it's weather related? She said, I don't know. So this is what you do. You have to go in and you have to put a complaint form in, yada, 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 yada. So I dug into it because I wanted to fly again. And they had closed the case without talking to me. So I wrote a little note saying, it would be nice to know what you guys decided. I'll just close the case. Bye. So anyway, apparently she tried to call me. And I didn't answer the phone. So I ended up on the phone again with the customer service representative who was very nice. And she said, no, it was weather related. And it doesn't matter if it's weather in Minneapolis or Fort Lauderdale or wherever you're going. It can be weather someplace else in the United States. So it's air traffic control issue. That's what it was.
That tornado 3,000 miles away looks pretty scary.
So everybody else got out. They told me on the phone it was an equipment thing, and now we're back. Now it's air traffic control. So that's just too bad that you were delayed 5 hours 24 minutes. That's just
Yeah,
how
and
it
like
is.
when we got on the plane, they didn't say anything about a delay at all.
They didn't?
No, we just got on the plane and they were like, "Thanks for coming on. Let's get out of here." And then we like left.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything at all about a delay.
That is amazing. So
I mean, I can understand when the weather's bad, but when
Yes.
there's no weather
Yeah, yeah.
anywhere and 5 hours 24 minutes, I can
Yeah.
even understand a 2 to 3 hour delay because of heavy traffic because it's the holiday week.
Yeah,
But 5 hours 24 minutes is a very long time.
the super long time. Yeah, I think we were delayed a total of 4 times.
Yeah. So anyway, so
And
there
now
you go.
Mom's angry at humanity.
Well, they tell me something, and like I said, it's just
Oh, I know.
this is just how it is trying to get anything done in America.
You should ask the people that we saw at the airport if they got money, because if anybody's going to get money, it's him.
Well, yeah, because he's I mean, I don't know how many hundreds of millions of air miles he has. He's got clout. I got nothing.
who's
Yeah,
that?
he does have clout.
I'm not going to say names.
Oh, it's somebody we know.
Yeah,
I will ask him, as a matter of fact.
You should.
Because yeah.
because then you can be like, "Hey, I know somebody that was on this flight and they got money. Give me my
Right.
money. Show me the money.
So they did get money?
No, I'm
No.
saying you should ask if they did.
Oh, ask if they did. Okay.
Because he's also really, really good at complaining about things and getting what he wants.
Well, like I said,
don't
and
know.
usually they're supposed to have a record of your conversation and that they told me that it was equipment
Yeah.
failure. Or not equipment failure. A piece of equipment wasn't loaded on the plane. That's what they told me originally.
That's what they did tell you. I do remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
And it was just a flat out lie, correct?
I don't know. Somebody's lying. And apparently it's me.
It's you.
You're the
Apparently
one.
it's
figured
me.
it out.
I'm
We figured
the
it. Case
I'm
closed.
the liar.
Yeah, I really don't understand how you screwed things up and you don't have to pay
Well,
for it.
this has
It
been
makes
my
no
whole
sense.
week. I looked at a credit card bill and I saw my Supra e-key. I haven't been in real estate for 2 years, maybe 3. Yeah, as soon as my dad came up in COVID and stuff, I was like,
Yep.
I can't drag COVID into the
Right.
old folks' home, so I'm going to have to step back from this. So anyway, so I did. And there's this thing that we have, it's called an e-key. It's an electronic way of getting into houses without having to have codes and
Right.
all that stuff. And it's more secure for the homeowner. So anyway, I think it's like, I don't know, $12 a month or something like that to have it. I called them and told them to cancel my e-key. They have been charging me this entire time.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand.
And this is what I'm saying. You call and you think something is done. You scan the document to the people that want the document, and it's the wrong document. Please send us a different document. It's like, you told me to send you this one. When does it actually get done? When can we just check the box? This is done. The to-do list is over. And it's just, you do that. You spend hours and hours getting all of this little niggling crap done that we have to do, in our lives. And 30, 40 days later, you have to redo it.
Never got done.
Who isn't doing their part? Is it all these customer service people that are at home and they just get paid per call and they just throw it in the garbage can when you're done? How is it working? That nothing is getting done. And as an employer, if your employee isn't doing their job and you have to pay somebody to do the same thing 3 times before it's actually finished, that has got to be a really bad business model.
That's why they're cutting. Every big giant tech company is cutting thousands of jobs now. It's because they have all these useless people who aren't doing anything.
I think that must be true because nobody's doing anything when I ask them
Nope.
to, even if I'm very, very polite and pleasant. Sometimes the only way I get anything done is to not be polite and pleasant. And then they take you seriously and get it done.
Yeah, there are too many jobs out there that basically exist so that they can point at them and say, look at all these new jobs we've added, all these positions we've added to our company. We must be going really fast.
Well, that raises their stock price.
Yep, exactly. So they make a bunch of fake positions and they say, look, 500 new positions we'd opened up just last year. But now the bloat has gotten to the point where they have to cut these positions and people are like, how could this have happened? I was getting paid $200,000 a year to go to yoga once a week and post Instagram pictures of the smoothies at the cafeteria. And then they're surprised that lifestyle isn't sustainable. It's like, how are you so disconnected from the real world?
Yeah, and it's just like going to Target. I brought Melissa and Ethan to Target last week, and we go in there, and the self-service checkout lines are, there's miles of people waiting to check out.
Mm-hmm.
There's 14 cash registers, one person ringing. I mean, and there's a couple of people standing around directing people to go to the self-service counters.
I don't think I've ever seen more than like a third of the cashiers open at one time. It makes you wonder why they build all these lanes if they
I will
don't
say-
ever
Right.
use them all.
I know somebody that works kind of like higher up in Target, corporate, and she was like, Targets in the South are completely different they're run completely differently and designed completely differently than the Targets up north.
Why? Why don't they have
Because
a uniform product throughout America?
because there's something about people that live in the South, and if Target, like if you took the Edina Target and put it in the South, people would not go there because they're like, they think they're fancy. We can't afford to go to Target. It's too fancy.
Too fancy to go to Target.
Yeah, like they think they're so cool.
Really?
Yeah, like they're really weird about it, I guess. Yeah, there's like been tons of research to show that people in the South like do not like super nice big stores.
Why?
That's interesting.
I don't
'Cause
know.
some of
They're
those
like-
some of those Walmarts are like a shiny new city.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've
But,
got
like, if
everything in
they're-
them.
if
Candy
they're-
stores, salons, everything.
Yeah, I don't know. And like, because Walmart is not fancy. Everyone knows Walmart's not fancy. It's like, oh, it's
Right.
Walmart. Walmart's like the lowest of the low. But like Target, since it's not a Southern company and it hasn't been around for as long, they're like, oh, Target thinks they're so cool, showing up
Alright,
here.
I guess maybe that
This
explains
year.
it. But it encourages people to just do online pickup,
Yep.
which keeps people from buying extra stuff when you go into Target. Because if I go into
Yeah,
Target for
that's true.
Motrin, I'm going to come out with 4 other things,
At least.
maybe 10. I mean, it's in their best interest to get people in the store, in my opinion.
Yes.
But their policies of customer service are not making it feel like you want to go in there, because I don't want to stand in line for 10 minutes with
I
a
don't know.
screaming toddler to check out.
Every Target up here is so nice and so well run, and every Target I've ever been to in Florida is like a dumpster fire.
I wonder why that is.
It's crazy. Like I hate going to Target down there. I'm like, this
Really?
place,
Yeah.
nobody's around.
Yeah.
That's true. Nobody's around to help you. That is
No.
true
Nobody's
in
there.
Florida.
Yeah.
you're
Nobody
right.
is there.
Does anyone
You're
work
right.
here?
Yeah, and it's dirty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the one in town
Crap's just
is
thrown
dirty.
everywhere.
The one way out in the suburbs is nice.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Yeah, that one's
Makes
nice.
sense.
It is
But
good.
I don't want to drive 35 minutes to go to a Target either.
Yeah.
When I have one 5 minutes away.
I understand. I want to thank. Whoop, you're not done.
No, I was going to change subjects.
Or to what?
I watched a show and I was sick that I think you would like.
Okay, I want to hear about it because Mom and I watched the first 2 episodes of what's it called, Griselda?
Griselda.
Yes.
Oh my God, is that show good? It's phenomenal.
That's good. I watched so many movies.
Oh, you
and
did?
So much TV. I was in bed for 3 days.
Right.
Yeah.
Fully like couldn't do
major
anything
flu.
other than just lay there. And then on the 3rd day I was like, if I watch another show or another movie, my brain is going to explode
Yeah.
and I can't do this anymore.
Well,
So I
hopefully you
scrolled through
slept.
Instagram for a day. No, it was like one of those like you're just laying there and you can't sleep.
Oh.
I slept fine at
that's-
night. But during the day, no.
Oh.
Really?
I could maybe fall asleep for like 20 minutes and then I'd be awake. It was
Oh.
really weird. Anyway, the show is called Fool Me Once.
Oh yeah, Mom and I are watching that.
Okay, well
Yeah.
there you go. Never mind then. Of
That's
course
good.
you are.
No,
It's really good.
We're talking to the audience, not to us. The audience.
I
is
thought
the one-
you. I was going to recommend it to you.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, I
People
think it's
like
really
it.
good. Yeah, it's like this. Here's the premise, audience. There's a woman whose husband has passed away. He was murdered
In front of her.
in
in
front,
front
of
of her, and then her friend gets her a nanny cam, and the woman is like looking at her nanny cam because she's like, why not? Whatever, I'll just look at this. And she sees her husband come into her house and like pick up their child and talk
Right.
to her
Yep.
on the nanny cam. And he's
Yep.
supposed to be like dead and buried.
Yep.
And so then it's like a whole, she's trying to figure out what's going on. And she's like, there's something happening. And I only watched, I think, 2 episodes of it because that was the last show that I watched. I was like, I can't watch any more TV. But I do like it, and I think it's
Yeah.
interesting.
It isn't. It is interesting.
No, it's a really, really good show. It's very well acted too.
I was going
well
to say
written.
that, like, yeah, everybody that's in it is really good, and it's yeah. So there you have it.
I would agree. It's a really, really, like I said, television's the best it's ever been. There's so many great things on TV now. It's unbelievable.
I also watched an extremely strange show called Class of '07.
Don't know that
I
one.
don't know that one.
You would hate it. It was absolutely ridiculous. But it's like the whole thing is there's a girl that was on like a bachelor kind of show, and like the whole beginning of it is the guy is like, "You're not my match," and then she throws a big fit and ends up like taking these doves out of cages, and she's just like, "Oh, everything here is fake, and these birds need to be let free," and she's causing a whole scene, and then one of the birds ends up pooping in her mouth.
Jesus.
And then it
God.
goes viral, this video of her.
Oh.
And then she decides to live off the grid for 6 months. And then when she's living off the grid, all of a sudden all this water comes bursting out of the ground. She's in Australia.
Okay.
And then she has to go to an evacuation point. Like she has to go to a higher point. And it happens to be her high school, which was an all girls boarding school. It's like on top of a mountain. And it just so happens that their class reunion is going on at that same time. And so she shows up and she's trying to tell everybody that this is happening, but no one will listen to her. And so she decides to get wasted. And then all of a sudden, half the school falls into a sinkhole and everything is surrounded by water. And then they have to it's like the apocalypse, basically. And they're like, we think we're the only people left on the planet in this boarding school.
It sounds like a dream.
It's really weird.
That sounds weird.
But it
Does
was
sound rather-
it was like the perfect I have the flu show. You know, like I was like, I don't have to be invested in this. I don't have to care. It's kind of dumb. But it kept me entertained, and I watched the whole season. In
And what's the
like
name
a
of it?
half day. Class of 07.
Class of 07.
And I watched it because I was the class of 07.
See?
Oh yeah, I suppose you were.
That's why I decided to watch it. I was like, oh, that's me. Like, I'll watch it. And yeah, it was strange. It was a strange show.
You've been out of high school for 17 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
my
35.
20-year reunion is next year.
What the hell?
I know.
Yep.
I don't
35
like
on
thinking about
Friday.
it. I know.
You're still children. You can't do this.
I'm gonna be
I know.
35 on Friday, so
That's all I'm saying. And you'll be 35 on Friday. Unbelievable. All right, we've only got about 10 minutes left of the show here, so I do want to cover this, and thank you to the Pioneer Press for doing such a great job. I like the Pioneer Press a lot, I really do. Much loved KS95 afternoon disc jockey Larry Moon Thompson dies after a long battle with multiple sclerosis.
what?
He was more, Moon died.
Oh, you
you
hadn't
didn't know?
heard?
That?
Oh,
Yeah, Moon died a couple days ago.
Goodness.
Friday, right?
Yeah, Friday, I think. Was it Friday?
Or was it Thursday night? I think it might have been Thursday night.
I cannot remember.
Oh,
He was more than just a coworker. He was like my brother, said his co-host Stacy Matthews. Moon became a very good friend of the entire family, thanks to Doug Sprinthal, as a matter of fact, because Doug, when he was working at Walzer, they advertised on my morning show over at the Q, and also with Moon and Stacy over at KS95. It's kind of interesting. I ended up back at Hubbard, where my career started anyway, and it's where it will be finished. There's no question. I will stay at Hubbard until I retire some century. I don't know when that is, but Moon, you couldn't ask for a nicer guy. He's just a terrific man. Great. His wife is a wonderful person. Popular former KS95 afternoon DJ. DJ, a disc jockey.
this
When's the last time radio people used a disc?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Been a
Probably
while.
doesn't happen a whole lot.
No. Larry Moon Thompson has died after a long battle with multiple sclerosis. He was 65. The station announced Thursday that Thompson, a 17-year vet of KS95's Moon and Stacy show, died overnight. So he died on the night of the 16th into the 17th.
Yeah.
multiple sclerosis is one of the strangest.
It is.
Yep,
It
sure is.
It's so weird.
Yes, some people
It
seem to
is
live with it
indeed.
for a long, long time, and some people just get devastated
Yep.
by it.
And it just seems like it like, comes out of nowhere. And it's
Yeah.
just like all of a sudden this person has multiple sclerosis
I
and there's
know.
nothing you can do about
Yeah.
it. And there you go. It's like,
I know.
what?
God, it's a great picture of him they put in the Pioneer Press, too. It's a great picture of Moon. No question. By that afternoon, management had billboards up around Twin Cities honoring Thompson that read, "Love you to the moon and back, Moon, 1958 to 2024. Thompson started at the station in 2003, was diagnosed with MS 2 years later, and left KS95 in October 2019 to focus on his health. Mr. Moon, oh my, said his former co-host Stacy Matthews. He was the most unusual man I've ever met and funnier off the air than on. We wouldn't air the funnier stuff. He was more than just a coworker. He was like my brother. That's the best way I can describe it. We have something special. That's why it hit us so very, very hard. Moon had a heart of gold. I would agree with that 100%, by the way. And Hutch, Greg Hutchinson, Hutch on the Hutch and Stacy show. Now he took Moon's spot. Hutch was nice enough to call into the show, my morning show, and that was really, really nice of him to do. Moon had a heart of gold, said Greg Hutchinson, who took over Thompson's spot on the afternoon show. He was always in your corner and a genuine friend to everyone he met. He made the listeners feel like they were family. A Nebraska native and lifelong Huskers fan, Thompson co-hosted successful morning shows in Houston, Denver, and Las Vegas before taking the job at KS95. The idea of a morning-style show to the afternoon was a new one, said Dan Seaman, Vice President, Market Manager for KS95's parent company, Hubbard Radio. Until Moon and Stacy, Afternoon Drive was mostly about music, Seaman said. They gave them the opportunity to be entertaining and not worry so much about playing music. Hubbard felt entertaining personalities were going to be the difference, and they dominated for 17 years. It was Moon and Stacy that built that foundation. You know how someone can own the room? He was able to do that on a radio station. It's hard to be personal in broadcasting, but Moon made it personal with everyone who listened. His life was an open book. Won the Marconi Award, of course. I can't read the entire story because it's quite long. But it was nice. And again, thank you to Hutch for calling into my show just a few days. Well, it was a day.
That was Friday.
That was Friday, yeah. So, just a couple of days ago, ladies and gentlemen, it was so nice of him. He started crying, made me tear up as well. Moon, I cannot tell you what a nice guy Moon was. He was just a great person, very, very funny guy, did just a great job, no question about that. Thompson is survived by his wife Cynthia and 3 children. KS95's website has a page devoted to memories of Thompson and has set up Moon's Miracle Fund to fight MS, with proceeds benefiting the MS Society of Minnesota. So I think that's wonderful, don't you?
I do. I only met him a couple of times after he was off the air, and he just had a great attitude about everything.
Oh,
he
did.
came on our show several times.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He did indeed. I'd get a call from Moon about once a week, something like that. Moon would give me a call and he'd go, Tommy, I need your help with something. I said, yeah, what do you need, Moon? I lost my catheter. I said, how the hell do you want me to help you with that? That you lost your catheter? And he'd start laughing. He thought that was very, very funny that I should come over and help him look for his catheter.
Well, hopefully you lost it taking it out, not putting it in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That'd be a problem. But no, he was a tremendous, tremendous guy. 17 years just dominated Afternoon Drive in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Sweetheart of a guy. His wife Cynthia is just, we went to dinner with him a couple of times with Doug Sprinthal and his lovely wife, and the 6 of us went to dinner, just had a wonderful time. He was so humble, as talented as the man was. He would always tell you how much he admired your abilities and how much he loved to listen to you, and he was just a wonderful guy. MS, where does MS even come from?
It's a nerve.
We don't really know. It's the immune system attacking white matter, I believe.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and it causes lesions in the brain and along the spine, which can cause any sort of symptom, basically. It can be bad enough that your life is drastically shortened, and it can be mild enough that you barely even notice it's there.
Yeah, I ran into a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in years and years and years, since like high school, and she said that she had MS, and I was like, no. And she said, oh, mine's very, very mild. Every once in a while,
Yeah, they'll
stumble
have a flare up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Every once in a while I stumble a little bit, and it's really not that bad.
Yeah, the relapsing remitting kind is, I think, the good one. Well,
Okay.
good, being a relative term. But yeah, it's basically like they'll have a flare up and they'll have some tingling in their legs or something like that. And then it'll go away. And then they might not have another flare for 5 years.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
and
it's so
then
weird.
I remember reading something once that there's like MS doesn't really exist below the Mason-Dixon line.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep. They
Yeah.
think that it might be vitamin D related.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somehow related to the sun, I think.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God, I had no idea that that was a situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
apparently it's-
vitamin D is one of those weird things that it's like you can get your levels checked and they look fine, but you could be a person that needs more vitamin D than everybody else, and it's weird.
But can you OD on D?
You can,
Technically, you can, but you have
but
to
it
take
takes
quite a bit.
yeah, like a crazy amount of vitamin D.
Oh.
The mnemonic, the vitamins that you can OD on, the common ones are A, D, and E.
Oh.
You require aid if you take too much of them.
Yeah, because they're fat soluble, not
Yep,
water soluble.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, we only got a couple minutes left. Any wrap-up comments? But anyway, Moon, we will miss you forever. You were a lovely man and a
Sad.
great friend. Thank you.
Yeah. Enough of this loss of.
I know,
Good
Pat
people.
Ebert's
Gonna
just
keep
couple-
happening.
I was gonna say it's people that
Yep.
are gonna die.
I know.
I never was in the same room with Pat Eberts and Moon. That would have been something else. Be in the same
Would've
room
been
with those two.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And we lost them both in the last month. That's
Yep.
unbelievable. All right, that is going to do it. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Got a picture in my noggin reminds me of this one was before.